Hi, I'm Holly from Globe Life American Income Division. I spoke with you about the benefits through IBEW 66. Is Mary there?
Yeah, she's over here.
Okay, great. So I have your benefits here, and I really love that they have me using Zoom. It makes things a lot faster. Don't worry, I'm not going to take up much of your time. So let me go ahead and get started while I set this up. Let's learn a little bit about each other. How long have you two been together?
This year will be 11 years.
Oh, that's nice. And excuse me, I'm sorry. Do you have any children?
Yeah, we have three.
You have three?
Uh-huh.
That's awesome, Dylan. And what are their names?
Um, Gannon is my oldest. Hattie Mae is my second, and then Trace is three.
Gannon, Hattie Mae, and Trace. Those are awesome names. I love those. And I thank you for that because I just really don't like referring to them as the kids constantly. And what kind of stuff do you do outside of work?
Um, Pretty much just whatever the kids got going on. They're about to get back in sports, so we're about to be busy
Right.
with baseball,
Yeah,
softball, and also.
that's definitely life with the kiddos. That's how it is around here with my two. I'm a single mom with two kids and three cats, so I'm pretty much at the whim of my kids too. All right. Now, I know you're dying to know, so let me go ahead and tell you exactly why I'm visiting with you and what I'm going to do. My job is to go over some of the no-cost benefits that have already been set up for you, and then I'm going to go over some additional benefits that you might qualify for. So, my company, American Income, works with over 20,000 different local labor unions, credit unions, and associations throughout the United States. And look, excuse me, whether you like unions or you don't, the thing everyone agrees on is that they have the best benefits. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah, they do.
Yeah. And a big reason for that is actually because of their relationship with American Income for the past 60 plus years. As you can imagine, they have me running around like crazy. So let me go ahead and get started and jump into the no cost benefits first.
Okay.
All right, Dylan, were you at the meeting where they talked about the program?
Yeah, I vaguely remember it, but yeah.
Okay, so do you remember this letter that you got from IBEW 66?
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yep.
when you got that letter, you also returned a card, and in the letter it said that when you return that card, you'd be contacted by someone to get your benefits set up. That's me, and I'm sorry it's taken so long to get to you. American Income works with over 20,000 different local labor unions, credit unions, and associations throughout the United States. So my job is to review the benefits that have already been set up for you, and then I'll help review the paperwork on your permanent benefits if we can get you qualified as well.
Mhm.
Okay, and did you receive the information? Did you read the information that you received in the confirmation after you signed up for the child safe kits as well?
No, I don't really remember that one.
Okay, Dylan. So this is good. It's actually your first no cost benefit is the Child Safe ID Kit mobile app, which is endorsed by the International Union of Police Associations. And I'm sure you know a bunch of families with kids, right?
Yeah, we know quite a bit.
Right. And did you know that Texas leads the nation in abductions?
No.
I didn't either until recently with this. And did you know that the night that 93% of the children that aren't found in the first 24 hours are never found?
No, I didn't.
I see, I didn't know that either. Now, if you want to go ahead and go through your App Store, Play Store, you're going to want to download the Child Safe ID Kit mobile app.
Sorry. All right, I did that.
Okay. And just imagine if one of your children, if Gannon were to go missing, can you see how important this would be?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And being endorsed, the endorsed company by the International Union of Police Associations, they're asking that you refer at least 5 families for this app. You mentioned you knew families with children, and everyone always wants to put down dozens of people. So let's just start with the people close to you. Who's the first that comes to mind?
We can um do my stepsisters,
Okay, and what are their names?
Monica and Stephanie.
Same last name?
Now can't actually remember their last name.
Okay, and do you have their numbers?
Yeah, Monica's is 325 669 5835.
Okay, and Stephanie's?
Hers is 325 386 1234.
All right, thank you, Dylan. And are there any others that come to mind today?
Um, no, not right off the bat, no.
Okay, not a problem. All right, Dylan and Mary, this is the no cost AIL Plus discount card that's available to you as well. How are your benefits through work?
I mean, they're all right, I guess. You know, it's with the union, so
Right. So you're absolutely going to love this one. I'm sure you know by now that you can't rely on your group benefits since you don't control them and they can change at any time. So this no cost benefit will help with some of those gaps by giving you up to an 85% discount on things like dental, vision, prescriptions, hearing aids, telemedicine, and even chiropractic services. Your membership requires an annual renewal, and that's also at no cost to you. We'll let you know when it's time to renew, and you won't even have to think about it. Now, people always tell me they didn't think they'd use it very much, but then find themselves using it all of the time. And again, it's at no cost, and it's good to get that extra peace of mind. So you'll receive an activation email within the next few days, so be on the lookout for that.
okay.
All right, Dylan, and this next benefit is going to be the accidental death and dismemberment certificate. Right, like right here. So, Dylan, this is a living benefit that pays you $2,000 for the loss of one hand, one foot, or even sight in one eye, and will double that amount or $4,000 for the loss of any two. And Mary, for you, this is a death benefit that would pay you $4,000 should Dylan accidentally die. And I know now that $4,000 doesn't seem like all the money in the world, but if Dylan died and his paycheck would die with him. So you can see how that would definitely help, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, so let me go ahead and get an email you a certificate for your records. And one more thing I need to do is to make sure to put 2 emergency contacts on here in the event you were to die together in a common accident. It would be wise if they live in Texas and are over the age of 18 and living outside of your home. Who's your first emergency contact going to be?
Let's do um let's do let's do my friend Blake.
Okay. And who's the second?
Um, let's do my other friend Garrett.
All right. And do you have Blake's number?
Yeah, it's 325 660 8413.
And Garrett's.
254 254 246 8019.
All right. Thank you, Dylan. And now, when something happens, you're going to need our local office number. Can you go ahead and grab your phone for me real quick?
Okay.
Okay. So, Dylan, the office number is 832-327-0800. And so your family gets the money they're entitled to. I'm going to be calling your emergency contacts personally so they know what to do in the event of a claim. And if you could, please go ahead and give them a heads up that they'll be hearing from me. In addition, if they choose, they'll have access to this as well. Thanks to you.
Okay.
Now, Dylan, this policy is just on you, but the second part of this benefit is that you can extend this to your closest family members and friends at no cost to you or them. So, how this works, let's say, God forbid, Blake were to die in an accident. A $2,000 policy just like yours will pay out to his family at no cost to you or him. All you're doing is giving them the option to take advantage of this just like you did. The ability to extend it is tied to my visit with you today because of your enrollment period. So it's important not to prejudge anyone's situation. Just let them decide for themselves. Now, they give you
Okay.
$20,000 worth of this benefit, which means you can extend it up to 10 families. Obviously, your emergency contacts will be included, so Blake and Garrett are already taken care of. That leaves you with 8 more. You mentioned you knew other families as well. Let's, who would you like to get this extended out to?
Um, yeah, I think everybody that I got is pretty much just gonna be that's I got a kind of, close knit deal. That's pretty much who I would talk to.
Okay, yeah, understandable. I'm the same too. I keep it close. All right, Dylan. So just make sure that you give the families you extended the no cost benefits to a call or a text, letting them know that I'll be calling them in the next few days. As long as
Okay.
they have a heads up, they're usually really happy. But if I call them and they don't know who I am or why I'm calling, sometimes they get confused and they'll be upset with both of us. So please, please, please just let them know. Can you make sure about that for me?
Yeah, I can do that.
Awesome. Thank you. And Dylan and Mary, now I'm going to jump into reviewing the exclusive benefits that you must qualify for. All the families that I see love this part of the program, and it's why 20,000 different groups handpicked American Income to handle their permanent and portable benefits for the past 60 plus years. So, Dylan, next time you're at your group, make sure you thank them for getting this set up for you.
Okay.
First, let's start with the needs analysis software. The reason most people don't have the right coverage is they don't know what they need. This software is designed to expose any concerns or gaps you may have. So what I'm going to do is ask some questions from the survey, and based on that information, it may or may not make recommendations. And if it does, I'll definitely review those with you. If it doesn't, then I'll have nothing to review. But before I do, let me go ahead and show you my license information here in the state of Texas so you know I'm a licensed professional to handle these kinds of benefits.
Okay.
And before I jump into the survey, I do have 2 preliminary questions to review with you. First, you must be a member of an authorized group or sponsored by someone who is, so you're good here. And you must have an active checking account with a bank or a credit union that has a brick and mortar location. Who do you bank with?
Bank of America.
Okay, perfect. All right. So the biggest concern families deal with when it comes to handling the concerns is affordability. They have this set up where if there are concerns, it would be based on a 1 hour's wage per week. To make sure it's accurate, Dylan, what's a ballpark figure of your monthly income?
About 10,000.
About 10,000. Okay. All right. And Dylan and Mary, now I know this isn't a typical dinner time type of conversation, but have you two decided or even discussed if you're going to do funeral or cremation?
I believe we're going to do funerals.
Funerals? Okay. All right. And now I see in lots of families, and some of them will get life insurance outside of work because you know what happens to the group benefits, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And do you have life insurance outside of work?
Um, yes.
Okay. And who's it with?
It is with, uh, I don't remember. It's like a 250,000, something like that.
You have a $4 million policy?
250,000.
Quarter million. Okay. Thank you. And do you get death benefits through work?
Yeah, but I think it's just, low $5,000, $10,000 policy, something like that.
Okay. So pretty much what they give everyone.
Yeah, yeah, just about.
All right. And Dylan, do you rent or own?
We own with a mortgage,
Okay. And what's the balance on the mortgage?
about 200,000.
Okay. And how many years do you have left?
Um, it is about 16.
Okay. And how much debt aside from the house would you say you have?
Um, Probably about 60,000.
Okay. And have you started saving for your kids' college education yet?
No, we haven't.
That's okay. I haven't either. And honestly, something I should probably get started on myself. So let's see. Okay, great. And before I go any further, it looks like the needs analysis found some gaps in your coverage. So I have this mandatory read-off letter for you. It's going to explain how the enrollment process works. Now, Dylan and Mary, instead of just reading this whole thing, do you mind if I go ahead and summarize that for you?
Yeah, that's fine. That'd be
Okay,
great.
so what it's basically saying is that if, as I'm going through the benefits, you're nodding your head thinking, wow, these are some great benefits, and I can see why 20,000 groups approved this and why everyone's doing it, then I'm going to go ahead and ask you to apply today. On the flip side, if I'm going through the benefits and you're thinking to yourself, these really are some great benefits, but they don't feel a need for me and my family right now, then I'm going to actually ask you not to apply. Either way, yes or no, the decision does have to be made today during your service period, in fairness to all the other members waiting to enroll. You'll see what they did is they set it up to be a no-brainer. It's going to be an easy yes or a no. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and whatever you decide to do, they do want you to give your opinion in a Google review, which is sort of like my report card. Now, I try to get a 5-star rating every time, so it's important to stop me if you have any questions. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Dylan, will you stop me if you have any questions?
Yeah, yeah, I'll do that.
Awesome. And Mary, will you do the same?
Yes.
Okay, and as you know, over the years, we go through contract negotiations and benefit changes at work. It's give and take, and lately it seems like we're paying a lot more but getting a lot less. The company has a labor advisory board of 50 international union presidents whose main job is to provide the best wages and benefits for their members. From their feedback, along with feedback from members like yourself, they came up with a list of concerns that apply to all working families, whether they're union or not.
Right?
So that first concern is the copays and deductibles and lost wages. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So health insurance pays the doctors, but members lose wages due to time off and out-of-pocket expenses. And then the second is going to be funeral and final expenses. Many families don't have $14,000 for final expenses, do they? I know I
No,
don't have
not
that much laying around just to bury me. Funeral
no.
homes usually want to be paid right away as well. So this helps with that as well. And then third is going to be paycheck loss. When a member dies, their paycheck usually dies with them, which can in return leave their family in a big bind. Which leads into the number four, which is mortgage and rent. And families have lost their homes after the sudden death of a breadwinner because, again, that paycheck loss. Now, number five is going to be children's protection, and benefits provided through a job are typically not permanent for children, which can create a big risk as well. An unexpected death could jeopardize future educational opportunities for children, too. Now, number six is terminal illness, especially cancer. Now, this is one that honestly I would rank up there a lot higher than just six. Did you know, according to the American Cancer Society, men have a 1 in 2 lifetime chance of developing or dying from cancer?
No, I didn't know that.
Mm-mm. And marry for women, it's typically 1 in 3, and that will move up to 1 in 2 once we hit 65. And then
Wow.
medical expenses are the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. So
Yeah,
it's huge. And then number seven is group benefits. Now, group benefits are great, but they can change at any time. And then again, members lose those benefits at retirement or if they experience a long illness before death. And then the final concern is going to be affordability. Now, to take care of all of these concerns, it's usually just way too expensive. Since we sit down with people making $7 an hour and even some making 77 an hour, some are working tons of overtime, some are retired or laid off, but regardless of the situation, they wanted this to be affordable for everybody. The way they set it up is, Dylan, let's imagine your boss comes up to you at work and tells you because things have been doing so well, they would start paying you for 41 hours instead of 40. Now, with that hour, are you going to tell your wife it's time for matching Ferraris or
probably not.
right? Or going to call a travel agent and book a dream vacation or even
No,
start the construction on your dream house?
no, probably not.
Of course not. Now, on the flip side, let's say work's a little slow and your boss comes up to you and he tells you that instead of laying off you and some of your coworkers, they're just going to send everyone home an hour early on Friday. So you'd be working 39 hours instead of 40. Would you have to get rid of your car or cell phone
Probably not.
or cancel a TV subscription?
No.
Exactly. The idea is that 1 hour isn't going to change your lifestyle. That's why they set it up this way. So let me show you how that 1 hour takes care of your concerns.
Okay.
Share this with you here. Sorry, give me 1 second. My computer's trying to. All right, Dylan, let me know when you can see that.
Okay.
Okay. So Dylan and Mary, it does help if I use an illustration. So to show you what's been set up for you. So Dylan, let's imagine that you go into work tomorrow at job A, which is going to be the job over here on the left. And with job A, you're making $14.75 a week. And let's say another job opens up. We'll call that one job B. Now you have the same group benefits, same coworkers, responsibilities, same everything. The only difference is that instead of $14.75 a week, you're making $14.35 per week, which is about 1 hour's wage difference. Now, like you said before, which is about 1 hour's wage difference, which like you said before, wouldn't change anything for you. So they've taken that hour that didn't mean much and they've decided to put it towards something that would, which is handling these concerns in a very simple and straightforward way.
Okay.
The first benefit is going to cover your entire family due to any sort of an accident. Like I said before, health insurance and group benefits are great, but they don't cover everything. So this program pays you up to $100 every time you go to a doctor, urgent care, or hospital for any accident or injury, whether it's a bump, bruise, or a bee sting. Now, if you end up in the hospital overnight, it pays $200 per day and double that for intensive care, so $400 per day. So let's say you have an accident and end up in the hospital for 5 days. By having this in place, it would pay you $1,000 tax-free, considering that you're not working and making money. This money will help take care of your bills, right? On top of that, you'll get $10,000 for the loss of a hand, a foot, or sight in one eye, and double that, or $20,000 for the loss of any two. The last part of this benefit provides an additional $20,000 to $100,000 for the accidental death benefit, depending on the type of accident. And as you can see over here on the left, your current job, none of that's covered. Now, the next concern has to do with your funeral and final expenses. There's a 100% chance that you'll use this one. It's the Freedom of Choice Certificate. We'll take care of the financial burden so your family doesn't have to. Now, the FOC has already been set up with every funeral home. Your Freedom of Choice certificate is worth $30,000 for yourself and also for Mary. The funeral home director will simply call the number that's on the front of the certificate, and American Income will take care of everything for you, including sending the remaining money to your family tax-free. They're using a permanent benefit to fund your freedom of choice. That way it's there when and not if your family needs it.
Okay.
Now, Mary, on the other hand, on the worst day of your life, can you see how this would make things easier for you and your children?
Yeah,
And
she
again,
can.
right now you don't have any of that and anything like that in place.
Okay.
All right, Mary, when something happens to Joe, you're probably going to miss him, right?
Yeah, she will.
But after a few weeks go by, aside from missing Dylan, what else do you think the family's going to miss?
Well, I mean, my income.
Exactly. So your program provides a total of $100,000 that pays out for any kind of death to take care of this concern.
Okay. Hmm.
Can't talk or math very well today.
It's all right.
We're just going to round that up to about $1,667 for 60 months in case of that accidental death. Nope, 3 years. I'm sorry. Like I said, I am doing this so wrong. Okay, so I'm sorry, Dylan. That would pay $1,667 for about 3 years, just like Dylan was still there. And this will give you time to figure out what you're going to do with your life, your job, and any other insurance money. And right now, as it stands, there's no monthly income replacement.
Okay.
Now, besides the income, the next thing people want secure for their family is going to be their home. And that's exactly why the benefit software program is recommending a mortgage or rent protection. So your program includes $100,000 of coverage for you, Joe. And statistically, if you were to die during your working years, it's probably not going to be to a health issue like a stroke or heart attack. It'd probably be due to an accident. So this is funded by an accidental death benefit to save you money.
Okay.
And I typed that in the wrong slot. I am so sorry. And again, right now with your current job, they're not going to pay your mortgage or rent if something were to happen, but this program does. The next concern on the benefit that the benefit software found has to do with your children's future education. Most families I see tell me they want their kids to have the option of going to college, and statistically the biggest thing that would prevent this is if the kids lost one or both of their parents while they're minors. The benefit software is going to give you $100,000 for the college fund to split between your three children. That's huge, right?
Yeah, it is.
And again, as you can see right now, you don't have any of that. And it also includes a special $10,000 life insurance plan for all your children, 18 and younger, that qualify. And when they turn 21, they can convert this to 5 times that amount, or $50,000 of permanent life insurance with no health questions. Having this in place might be their key to getting coverage later on when they may otherwise not be able to qualify. And again, your current benefits don't provide anything permanent for your children.
Right.
Another important feature of this program, Dylan, is that if you're diagnosed with a terminal illness such as cancer, you can access half of your freedom of choice and income protection benefit while you're alive. So they're providing you with $65,000 for this fund. Now, Dylan and Mary, this gives you the chance to put your family in the best situation financially if you get the worst news imaginable. The remainder of the benefit would pay out to your family as a death benefit. And your current benefits don't provide anything here. As you can see, they thought of pretty much everything. So unlike your group benefits, which you can lose, these benefits are permanent and portable. So if you leave your job, retire, or leave the union, you get to keep these. In addition, if you're on a qualified layoff, they'll cover the benefits for you for 3 months. And if you're ever in a situation where you'd have a qualified strike, it's up to 12 months. This way, you and your family won't lose the benefits when you really need them the most. By the way, you never have to pay that back. Now, Dylan and Mary, now that I've reviewed everything with you guys, I'm sure you can see why 20,000 groups chose this program above all the others and why more families have our programs than any other companies. Because of the value and the full circle of protection it provides. I mean, Dylan, if something were to happen to you, like a bad car accident, your family would receive $370,000 tax free, all for about 1 hour's wage per week. With your current job, there's no guarantee that your family would receive anything at all.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Dylan
Okay.
and Mary, right? If you went into work tomorrow and you had a choice between job A and job B, which would you take?
Job B.
And why would you do that if you're making more over here at job A?
I mean, just all those benefits that we get.
That's what everyone says. It's a no-brainer, see? All right, so everyone wants the benefits, but not everyone can get the benefits. So as I mentioned before, I do have to get you qualified first. So let me run through these questions and see if you can qualify.
Okay.
Just getting those pulled up real quick. All right. Okay, so Dylan, has anyone ever been treated or advised to be treated for alcoholism or alcohol abuse, including membership in AA, or been advised by a physician to reduce alcohol consumption?
No.
Have any of you ever used drugs not prescribed by a physician, such as cocaine, amphetamines, barbiturates, hallucinogens, tranquilizers, narcotics, or sedatives?
No.
Okay. And have any of you ever had their driver's license suspended or revoked because of a moving violation or been arrested, including arrests for driving while intoxicated or under the influence?
No.
Have any of you flown within the last 2 years or intend to fly in the future as other than a passenger on a scheduled airline? Dylan, are you a pilot or wanting to be?
No.
Okay. And have any of you participated within the last 2 years or intend to participate in any of the following activities? Auto, motorcycle, or boat racing, parachute jumping, skin, scuba, or skydiving?
No.
Okay. And have any of you ever been advised to take tests and not done so, or not received the results, been diagnosed as having or received treatment for high blood pressure, chest pain, heart attack, stroke, or any heart, blood, or circulatory disorder?
No.
Okay. And what about, has anyone ever had or been treated for any of the following conditions? Diabetes or other endocrine disorders such as hypo or hyperthyroidism?
No.
Perfect. Paralysis, epilepsy, mental disease or disorder, or any other nervous system or brain disorder. This could include ADD, ADHD, or autism.
No.
Okay. And have any of you ever had arthritis or any injury to or trouble with your back, knees, or any of your joints?
No.
And to the best of your knowledge and belief, do you have any physical impairment or departures from good health?
No.
All right. Have you any ever been advised to take tests and not done so or not received the results, been diagnosed as having, or received treatment for cancer, tumors, or unexplained masses? No? Okay. Have any of you ever been rejected for life or medical hospital insurance, rated, or failed to receive a policy as applied for?
No.
All right. And in the past 5 years, have you had a physical examination?
Yes.
Perfect. And has anyone had any medical treatment? This includes prescription medications.
No,
All right. Anyone been hospitalized?
no,
Have any of you currently in a resident in a nursing home or ever been diagnosed as having terminal illness, including Alzheimer's disease?
no,
Have any of you ever had or been treated for any of the following conditions? Asthma, emphysema, sleep apnea, or other respiratory disorders?
no,
Ulcer, colitis, or other digestive tract disorder?
no,
Cirrhosis, hepatitis, or other liver disorder, or any blood disorder, or received a bone marrow transplant?
no,
Kidney, prostate, urinary bladder, or other genitourinary disorders?
no,
Any disease of the breasts, uterus, or ovaries? Okay. Any rheumatoid arthritis or any other musculoskeletal disorders?
no,
Loss of hearing or loss of sight?
no,
Has anyone had the acquired immune deficiency syndrome such as AIDS related complex or AIDS related conditions?
no,
Has anyone ever tested positive for antibodies to the AIDS HIV virus?
no,
All right. And do any of you smoke cigarettes or use tobacco in any other form? Okay. And have any of you used marijuana in the past year?
no.
Okay. All right. Okay, Dylan. So I'm not the underwriter, but based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like I should be able to get you qualified for the benefits. Now, this was the QR checklist, which is a mandatory checklist that we review with all the members, and it explains the enrollment process. And the first thing it talked about is the way the benefits are handled. All right. Now, Dylan and Mary, almost everyone takes advantage of this program, like you, because of the value. And the cost is very small compared to the many benefits. Now, it's very rare, but sometimes a member cancels, could be a week, a month, or a year later. And we end up seeing the same people in the next service period, which 2 or 3 years later. And they're upset because they're no further ahead than they were. Most people end up wanting to reapply for benefits. The problem is that now the program is more expensive because they're older. Worse yet, some people can't even get into it anymore because their health has changed. The point is that this is not a short-term fix, it's a long-term solution. And the longer you're the longer you are into the program, the more valuable it is. So if this $130 a month is uncomfortable for you, let's fix that right now. How does everything feel?
It feels good.
Okay, now I do want to emphasize that the first draft is going to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours, but that your bank might not reflect on it for up to 10 days. I want to make sure we're good to go on that first draft and that the money will be there. If there are any issues, this creates a lot of headaches for both of us and reflects poorly on me because it makes it look like I pressured you into doing something that you don't want. Are we good to go on that first draft?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And just please make sure to keep this important program in place. Okay, good. Then please make sure to keep this important program in place for you and your family. And the next time we see you, you'll be really happy you did. So this program, like I said, is set up on a once a month computerized deduction through your banking system. Having it done this way is what gains you that discounted rate. And again, Dylan, we're going on that based off that 1 hour's wage per week. So, and we're not going to draft that out for the 4 times a month, weekly for you. So your program is only $130 a month. This can be handled anytime between the 9th and the 23rd. What date is best for you?
I guess the 10th.
The 10th?
Yeah.
Okay, we will get that put in there. And because this is a member-owned program, and once it's issued, it cannot be taken away by American Income or your employer, there is an application process, which we started with the health questions. In addition, this will be signed electronically. So after we complete the application, you'll receive an email from DocuSign to which you will confirm the accuracy of the information and that you're agreeing to electronically sign these applications just if it was your own signature.
Okay.
Right, so the enrollment process usually takes anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks. If approved, you'll receive your policies in the mail and a congratulatory letter welcoming you to AIL. If denied, you'll receive today's deposit back and you may write to American Income to request an explanation. So obviously, with these benefits, you're conditionally covered from the moment our call ends. So the first bank draft happens immediately within 24 to 48 hours of the application. Your bank may not reflect the draft for up to 10 days, so please ensure the funds stay there in order to ensure your coverage. Your first premium is going to be $135, with that $5 is the application fee. And
Okay.
going forward, it would be the $130 a month. Items we need to complete the application process are driver's license, doctor's information, any meds taken, checkbook or bank information, so, which is your routing and account numbers.
Okay.
At some point in everyone's life, they become uninsurable and would be declined for insurance. This is usually due to either age, health, or habits. Once you're uninsurable, you typically can't get insurance again. If you're approved, these are the 3 possible outcomes. First, you could be approved standard due to having minor or no health issues. The second option is that we can fall somewhere in between perfect health and the uninsurable line. And because the groups we work with want everyone to be approved, they created a category called special risk, where the program would be a few dollars more per month. In this category, you would pay exactly what someone else would pay for the same benefit or for the same health profile. Obviously, the closer you are to the uninsurable line, the more the program would be. Think of this like car insurance. Someone with a perfect driving record wouldn't pay the same as someone that had a lot of speeding tickets. And the third option is going to be the counter offer. They make this offer for someone that they may not have considered in the past as a last chance to get covered. If the program comes back different than what we would discussed, I will call you and let you know. If that happened, would the few extra dollars be a problem for you?
No, that would work.
Okay. And you may receive one or more phone calls asking to review the questions that I've asked and ensure that everything is accurate on your application. In order to approve your policy, the company may need your help in getting additional records or medical information from your physician. In order to approve you, the company may send out a medical professional to conduct a physical in the privacy of your home and at no cost to you. It's important to be prepared to be responsive during the approval process.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get all this set up here. And would you like me to send the documents through your text or email?
Um, we'll do my text.
Okay. All right. So y'all should get those. You should each get one of those here in just a second. And if you don't mind going in and getting those signed and sent back to me.
Right? Okay, they're signed.
All right. I got that there. All right. And this is where we would review the benefits to make sure there's no confusion on the summary sheet. And because of our growth, we're currently expanding our operations. If you know anyone in between positions, fresh out of school or looking for a better career, please refer that person uh, to your servicing agent to explore a potential career fit with our company. Do you have anyone in mind?
No, not right now.
All right. And now, Dylan and Mary, if y'all don't mind, if you would like to go ahead and if you can give me that Google review,
Okay.
that way they can know if I did a good job or not for you.
Okay.
And please remember to go ahead and make sure to contact all the families that you've got sponsored into the program today. That way they know to be expecting a phone call.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Dylan and Mary. I do appreciate spending your time with me today. Do you have any other questions or concerns for me?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your day and y'all stay safe, okay?
All right. Thank you.